Cool.
We had a good time.
Yeah, the concert looked dope. So I seen, of course, you were on Fools Gone Wild.
Yeah.
You got sock checked.
Got sock checked. I asked for it.
Hey, man, that was
Yeah.
cool. I know, you can hear your voice.
Yeah.
That was so funny because like I watched it the first time and I didn't hear it.
Yeah, right,
I
right.
watched it the second time and I heard sock check me and Serge's voice. He just knows his voice. That's dope, bro. So you're on there.
Yeah.
And like I said, concert looks sick from seeing the outside in. How was it being there?
I mean, it was different.
Yeah.
I've never been to a music fest before, so I mean, I was just excited. I've been to a lot of concerts,
Right. Yeah.
and so like concerts really don't excite me no more.
Yeah, right.
But this one was different. It brought back like Up in Smoke feelings.
Yeah, okay.
When I was a kid waiting outside of the E Center, which is now the Maverick Center.
Yeah.
That had that same like just that heartbeat.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And when it really hit me that these boys is getting old is when Cameo came on.
Oh yeah.
And poor thing, man, the lead singer from Cameo, man, if anybody is ever gonna watch this that's related to him, I mean no disrespect in this, but he was walking like Frankenstein.
Oh, for real?
And
Yeah.
like you could tell he was delicate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I looked at my girl and I was like, man, see, this is why we need to be here watching them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we don't know how much longer.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Legends
saying?
are gonna be here,
Exactly.
man. Yeah.
So Cameo went up there and they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? They did their thing. Man, them oldie groups was something special because you got the Delphonics.
Yeah.
They got the high pitched voice in
Right,
that.
yeah.
Stylistics, they got their high pitched
sick.
voice.
So all of them were there, huh?
Yes.
Damn,
So
that's
the
lit.
Shy Lights, the
Yeah.
Stylistics, the Delphonics,
What?
the Dramatics,
Yeah.
Mary Jane Girls, Midnight Star, Lisa. Man, I mean, I know George Clinton, the Paramount Funk, Brenton Wood, Zap. Isley's didn't make it in. R.I.P. Drakeo, because that shit happened to Drakeo.
Yeah.
So the Isley brothers never made it on stage.
Because that happened. Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyways, not only that, Fools Gone Wild, Little Mr. E was coming on after the Delphonics.
Ah.
So I told my girl, I was like, all these old heads are gonna start moving because we were like maybe 8 feet away from the barricade.
Right.
I was like, as soon as the Delphonics are done, they're gonna move.
Yeah.
Mark my word.
Right, yep.
And sure enough, these girls moved. You know what I mean? They moved and we stepped up in front.
Got right
So
there.
I'm like, I'm here, little Mr. E.
That's what's
and
up.
my tube socks is on, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's so dope.
And I told my girl, and I told the person who he was driving there with. We gave him a ride over there.
Yeah.
I told him I'm gonna ask him to sock check me.
Yeah.
I'm coming from Utah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask him to sock check me.
Yeah.
Fuck the bullshit,
Right.
especially if I'm that close.
Yeah.
He came out, did what he did, and as soon as the music stopped, I knew that was my opportunity.
Right.
So, I mean, if you've seen the video, I yelled it to him, and right away, I ain't gonna lie to you, when he said, sock check who?
Yeah.
Inside, I was like, oh. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, and the only thing was to do was just to repeat myself, sock check me.
Yeah.
And my girl, she don't like attention.
No.
So she said, as soon as I said that, she said all the cameras and everybody taking pictures on stage of them, they all faced us.
Yeah, and you
So
can see it in her face. So I
Yeah,
watched it
right.
the second or third time because I didn't notice her at first by you, but then I see her in the Cowboys jacket.
The Cowboys
I was like,
jacket.
oh, that's her.
Yeah.
And she just kind of had this smile looking around like, oh shit, the whole spotlight is right on us.
Right, yeah. And my fucking old ass had to put my hand on her shoulder to get my leg up on the rail and shit,
Not as limber as it used to be.
But no, I'm not. No, that's for damn sure. But I put my shit up on there, and so that was a great experience. You know what I mean? They were throwing out hella merch.
Yeah.
Even got some merch from the Trash Bag Boys, and I follow them on Instagram. Shout out Trash Bag Boys, they're dope.
That's sick.
And just to get merch from them and shit,
Yeah.
it was cool because I was getting to experience what I see them do on Instagram because these meme concerts that Fools Gone Wild do, he's not. I always try to give a shout out for him to come to Utah, but you know what I mean? It's Utah. So for me to actually be a part of somewhat what they do at his meme concerts, that was an
That's
experience,
so cool.
bro. That was an experience. That shit was different for me, and to wrap it up real quick, as soon as he was done with that, oh no, not even as soon as he was done with that. This is what I was gonna actually save for. Shout out to Adam, we miss you.
Yeah.
Me and Adam, we used to go to the summer jams in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
So we would go early, and sometimes we would have extra waters with us. Sometimes we'd have to barricade each other while we pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to lose our spots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Travis Scott changed the fucking game.
Oh yeah, with the whole.
So these people are coming out with cases and they look like tall boys.
Oh yeah,
they look like tall boys. It's fucking mountain water.
Oh yeah.
And my girl was just saying
liquid death.
That's exactly what it is.
Delicious.
That's exactly. I thought they were alcohol drinks. It said liquid death. The fuck? I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's giving some alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh okay, and then I see that it said they're handing them out, and I get one, and my girl was just talking about, kept looking back, talking about she's thirsty, and I understand, you know, that shit gets. We were like 4 hours there.
People,
yeah, we were 4 hours there. So I'm like, these motherfuckers just really came and brought us water. I'm like, they've in my years of going to concerts, you gotta tough that shit out. Go ahead and tough that shit out. You know what I mean? And so that was cool.
That's cool.
That was cool as fuck. And then so real quick, and when that shit happened to Drake, it wasn't even. We found out that happened to him through social media.
Oh, okay. So they made.
They didn't even announce nothing like that. They just said it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the show's over. It's time to go. Okay, so. Me and my girl had already decided. Okay, we leaving.
Yeah.
You know, we're leaving. My son was with my prima Trisha.
Yeah.
Thank you for her for watching her. You know, for watching him. And so when we're leaving, check this out. When we're leaving, as soon as we exit out, these Mexican and they had African American vendors. They were all outside. They made like a walkway, curved out like your whole exit out, about 25 deep. They all had the flat pan fryers cooking hot dogs.
Oh yes,
back to back. Didn't even know who to go to. But you know, it was smelling good as shit because it's the bacon wrap hot dog, the Sonora dogs. Right. So I picked the oldest lady that I've seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And went over there and bought from her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the part that got me is after we were done eating, we're eating in front of this big ass cool looking museum.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm just enjoying shit. You know, I'm high. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the stars and shit like that. I'm looking at my girl like that. We in LA right now, baby, you know? And so we get to leave. Next thing you know, we start seeing that it's no longer the hot dog vendors. There's people out there with coolers, some paisanos and some black dudes, and they're out there selling beer.
Oh hell, yeah.
Selling beer. You know what I mean? And this one black dude wasn't even looking at nobody. He was just like, "I beat anyone's price. I beat anyone's price. I was like, yeah, he's the one that got the drinks right there. He got the 350 beers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so I've never experienced like they were on it.
That's dope.
And nobody was fucking with them. Nobody was like in Utah. I feel like they'd be like, "Hey, you guys can't do that here. You can't do that here."
Out there, the hustle is so different because everybody got that hustle in them. You know what I mean? Like, like there's people out there who, you know, don't have like full-time jobs. They just full-time hustle, bro. That's the West Coast mentality. Like I respect the shit out of that. A homeboy of mine who's actually a mentor of mine, really, but we became friends. He's from the East Coast. He's from Indianapolis.
Oh shit.
And he said that when he came to the West Coast and he started to talk to people because he helps like mentor businesses and stuff like that. That people in the West have that mentality of like, I need multiple jobs or I need multiple income. Like, I can't just rely on, you know, punching a clock. I gotta have this too on the side. He's like, you don't really see that where he's from in the Midwest or you know, East Coast, Indianapolis, wherever that may be. In the like, it's like Midwest. It's like Midwest, like Chicago.
I mean, I don't know. It's pushing East Coast. It's pushing. It's the farthest Midwest you can say.
It's pretty East Coast, but he was saying that it's just a different mentality that there is out here. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like. People got like that hustle in them.
They do.
Everybody got that
hustle. And to add to that, that's crazy that you said that because when we was hitting the freeway the first time when we got with my cousin Trish, that's the exact shit she said. She's like, out here, you can't just go and have your 9 to 5 and expect to do something with it. You gotta have an extra hustle.
Going on.
And the fucked up part is 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be illegal.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be illegal. But it's like that's how the government has shit set up. Sorry.
I mean that's true. I think especially like our people's like Hispanic Americans, right? African Americans, but we see that as the easy way out. I really feel like if people were to invest some time in learning something they might be able to do legally,
right?
It's a little harder though. That's the thing. Like, if you want to sell something on the side, or you want to take a second like sales job or something like that, it's gonna take a little bit of you getting out of your comfort zone. But I mean, shit, we all know people who use, you know, like marijuana, whatever kind of drugs. That's the easy route.
Of course, of course.
And so instead of going the easy route and doing shit that might get you locked up, look for a hustle that's going to pay you in the long term, and you got to get out of your comfort zone. I think that's the better payoff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is, and that's just with everything in life. Yeah. You got to do what's out of your comfort zone. Because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're never gonna excel in anything at your job, in life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that does make them be more. Not just a hustler, but more creative than us. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you know there are them people out there that really aren't selling drugs or something like that. But they're using a Cricut machine, putting a logo on shit. Like when Nipsey died, and everybody was making them shirts. Boy, they was hustling them shirts off. You know what I'm saying? But then you got the Atlanta Water Boys, right? You know what I mean? They're just out there hustling water. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's all choices. It's all choices. But the thing that's fucked up is it's just so much more easier to do bad. Yeah, it's so much easier. And I don't know why it's like that. I don't know if the brain is trained that way
to feed the machine.
You feel me? But I don't know. It's stupid that it's so much easier to do the wrong thing.
What do you think is better, worse or better? Like doing copyrighted stuff, like, you know, say you go to a fight or something and you make the unofficial copyrighted shirts or logos of bootleg knockoff, right? Instead of making your own, because people aren't going to buy your own. Right. They don't know anything about it, right? Or like some people in New York, they'll hustle like cocktails or something. They make their own cocktail, or do you think they just make something that works in a cocktail that's already formulated?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the person, right? If but speaking of that, how you said about the clothing and stuff, didn't Kanye say that's how his family made the money? They would bootleg stuff. So they bootleg you know, all the real popular brands. Right. You're gonna get way more money doing that than you would trying to start your own brand. Yeah. If you start your own brand, you gotta have a lot of backing. Yeah, you do. You gotta have people with influence to wear it. Yep. And you gotta have the financial to make it a bit, so that when it takes off,
and good quality.
Exactly. So you see a lot of dudes and a lot of people, just people in general, and I mean, I respect their hustle, their drive, because they're like, oh, I'm gonna make a clothing brand, right? But it's like, bro, like, you only know 400 people, you know what I mean? Right. And you're not gonna make that much money, and you're not even gonna make enough to pay off your, you know, what you're making the shirts for. Right. So if you could bootleg some shit, or or even like Gen X back in the day, before like the fucking copyright like laws and shit got really tight.
They were big on the you
can get
Snoop Dogg clothing. You could get it all there.
All that shit there. It was knockoff, but it was, you know, it was off-brand shit, but it still looked good enough to pass off. Or, you know what I mean? Right. So that's just how you're gonna make the quick money, and then you do that enough to make the money to invest in your own shit, right? And then when people know you as, and this is just that one niche, clothing, right? Oh yeah, yeah. Know you as somebody who sells clothes or whatever, and you're selling like knockoffs or whatever, then you could try to introduce your own brand. Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. You can't just start. Everybody wants to start from the very top of what you can think and go from there. It's not how it works. Every business is built from the bottom up. Yeah. You build the foundation, and then you build on the foundation up. You don't start at the penthouse and build down everything. You know what I mean? Right.
And I've had a bad experience with that, because I do try to support local as much as I can, you know. And there was I'm gonna name drop, and there was El Keto brand, and I don't know if they're based out of Salt Lake or whatever, but he started doing these Utah Jazz looking shirts. Okay. You know, they had the mountains on the sleeve, and the collar looked like the way the jerseys looked, and I wanted one. Right. You know, I wanted one, so I ordered one. And when it got to me, it had looked like grease stains on it. Oh. And the neck wasn't properly sewed on. Right. Yeah. So, and that's an example of somebody just jumping into and it's not Okito's fault. Right. It's the person that they decided to make it for them. Exactly. The quality of their shirts. You know, I'm sure if the dude from Okito was there, if he would have seen that shirt had a grease stain, or even one of them looked like had a pencil mark, because he had to resend me one. And when he resent it to me, it was still messed up, and he just refunded me my money back. So there was no hard feelings at all, you know. But it goes to show, like, you got to have them ducks lined up before you want to do anything. But see, if you're doing this shit in a big city, you know what I'm saying, like the Nipsey Hussle or whatever, you never know. Some motherfucker might see that T-shirt and be like, "That's dope." Oh yeah, that's true. That's fucking nice. Who did that? Yep. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And then next thing you know, you're on.
You just gotta know where you're at. Yeah. Like, for real, like L.A., New York. If you're in a big city, there's people with big businesses there, and if you see your shit, then and it's still a slim chance, even in that big city. Right. Yeah. there's none of that out here, or in another.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Tourists, they'll just buy it and they won't even question it.
Yeah, they just buy it, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got it in New York.
Because this where they're at. Yeah, it depends. Like location, it's always said, right, in business, location is key.
Yeah.
Right. Location.
Right.
So if you're in a big city, that shit happens, right? Just like artists, like even thinking about music artists and stuff, right? Most music artists that become popular are either from a big city and made it in that big city first, or if they are a small city person, they really are fucking talented,
right?
And they did something outside the box,
right?
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
it's true.
I think local artists, and like it's cool because like we're meeting a lot more local artists and stuff, especially from doing this,
right?
Like I like dudes with original sounds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, shout out Glocko and Lalo Lucas. They got original sounds. You know what I mean? And they got like that. It's a Utah Hispanic sound to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It is, and it's dope. And
because,
then like my boy Young Yankee. Shout out to Young Yankee. His shit's dope too because it's original.
Mm-hmm.
Like his hooks and everything. He puts like. He'll put in like lyrics like, you know, oh, I'm cold because I'm from the Valley of the Snow, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And shit like that. Like you got to be original, bro. You can't follow somebody's format that's from LA or from New York or from, you know, the South or anything like that. I think it's gonna hit.
Right.
That's their sound.
That's their sound.
Yeah, they already came up with that. So
do you think there's
we need
enough
originality?
Money do you think there's even enough money in Ogden to make like even a restaurant or something like that? Like because people don't really spend that much out over here.
Yeah.
I feel like not really. So you have to be like a Bountiful Salt Lake.
Yes, I think yes and no. I mean, you if you want to make big business, you got to go where the money's at. Right?
They're more willing to pay that over there, though.
Willing to pay that over here.
They are
over here. I would say you start with something a little bit cheap. You know what I mean? Like whether it's food, if you did like clothing, like I said, probably something that people know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, but a small town like this, small city like Ogden, you got to start small and then build your way up,
right?
And then take it to the masses,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
So. That's just how it is.
That's how it is. That's how it is. It is,
man. But that's dope. That's so cool. You went to that concert and stuff. And I asked you about the bootleggers because I have it's like a core memory that I'll never forget. Rome, you'll probably remember this when I bring it up. But we went to a concert, me and Rome, and it was like our first big concert. And it was a rock concert. It was a Korn concert.
Oh shit!
So we're going in there. Our dad bought us tickets to go, and we're walking up to it was the E Center, the Maverick Center.
Right.
And there's this dude outside that had a box of shirts. And he's like, tore shirts.
Just
he's
pulled
like,
up.
Tore shirts. And he my dad talked to him. He was like telling me and Rome, he's like, you want to get these shirts? Like these are from the tour. Like they have the tour dates on them. Says Korn and Disturbed on them. $20. Right? Me and Roman were like, nah, we want to get something from inside. We want something official.
You know the merch.
We want the official merch and shit like that. Bro, I regret to this day not getting that because tour shirts are sick to have in one.
Yeah.
We fucking ended up spending like $50-something on some fucking bandanas.
I still got it.
Yeah.
Still got it. You're going to have it.
Though.
Right.
Like, and that dude, you know what I mean? He was out there selling those shirts out of a box to feed his family, you know?
Yeah.
And he was a minority too. So I think about that. I'm like, fuck, man, I had that stupid mentality of like, oh, I want the official shit.
Of course.
You know, when I could have got this shirt from this dude, you know, maybe got his kids a couple Christmas presents that
year. Never know. You never know. Yeah.
Why is the official stuff like, because I mean, if you have the mindset, the confidence to make anything fly, you can make anything fly.
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
For sure.
Why do you have to have the official thing?
It's that herd mentality, right? Whatever the herd thinks is okay and acceptable, we want to get. We want to be a part of the herd. We want to be a part of the collective.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's some people who don't care about that, which is cool too. You know what I mean? And then they have like their own style or whatever. But for the most part, I just think it's part of the herd mentality. Everybody wants to be seen.
So you think those people are more free, the ones that could just wear whatever they want?
Yeah.
They think it's nice, they like it. They
right.
I've always been the type, it has to be, you know, the official, it has to be the newest, it has to be da-da-da-da.
Of course.
But yeah, I think that there's it's not as, you know, as freeing as somebody who could just, you know, like what they like.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And I don't know, it's just the culture that you're in and everything that plays into it, right? Because like, I don't know, most pop culture is surrounded by popular things. That's why it's called pop culture.
Right.
You know?
The hype shit is real big right now.
The hype shit's real big right now. And so if you want to be known, if you want to be known by people who you want to be known by, you're going to get the stuff that you know. And they know, right? But I think it all ties back to people like knowing who they are.
Yeah,
right?
Knowing who they are.
Like, don't buy shit that you think other people are going to approve of, or don't wear shit or do shit that you think other people are going to approve of. What do you approve? At the end of the day, what makes you look at yourself in the mirror or whatever and reflect and say, you know what, that's me.
Yeah, of course.
Me. That person looking back is me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
like I'm still that type of motherfucker where I'll be in West Valley and be at the Valley Fair Mall.
Yeah,
go get me a jersey and a hat like I normally do, and go right down the fucking Redwood Road and go cop me some motherfucking glasses from the swap meet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is, you know. And to be fair, you know, shit, the majority of the jerseys that I had after high school, them bitches was knockoffs too. Right. I just had the connect that made them look like they was really real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it goes to the fact of what you said.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you need the top thing, or are you that fly where you can just go ahead and let that shit walk?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was some people that would come out with some shit from Gen X, and we all knew it was from Gen X, but the motherfucker might have put it up together nice.
And it looks good.
And then match his shoes, a nice hat with it, you know what I mean? Like, he put it together nice. You know what I mean? So
well, it's like we're impressing other men, right?
Right.
Because it's like,
and that's the fucked up part.
Some of the women, they're not even gonna know.
They don't give a fuck.
Good in that.
Right.
Yeah. You know, but we're just trying to impress other men who know about this shit.
They're like, oh shit.
Why are we trying to impress them? Because ultimately, do they even care really?
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, they'll call you baby. You know,
it's about being accepted, right? Everyone wants to be accepted and respected too. So, you know what I mean? If you're not accepted in the herd, then you're an outcast, and inwardly you feel like, oh fuck, I'm you know, something wrong with me or whatever.
Right.
And some people, I think the ones that could pull off like and make things look good, those are just attractive people.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They got that attractive aura about them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm lucky enough to know people like that. Like, you know what I mean? I consider you guys right here.
Of course.
Those type of people.
That's what I was gonna say.
Been those type of people.
That's what I was gonna say.
Then there's people who don't have that, right? And they have to do whatever they can to get noticed by people who have, you know, that natural, just, you know what I mean, aura, and stuff. And so they have to have the clothes, they have to have the shoes.
It's a must.
And, in order to try to get in, you know, with a certain group, a certain herd, you know.
Right.
And it's just how it is, man. Every animal's like that too.
Yeah.
You look at every male animal, right? Only peacocks have nice feathers. Those are males.
Yeah, those are males.
Peahens don't have those feathers.
Right.
Right? Only the colorful birds and shit like that you see, those are male birds because they have to attract their mate.
Yeah.
Females can choose their mate. Men have to attract a mate.
Right.
So that's the difference.
You do. It's true because I mean, and now that I'm thinking back on it, in my time I've gotten more compliments from men than I have from women about the way I look or the jersey I got, the shoes I got. You get it more from men.
Yep.
So and then you get caught up in that shit.
Right.
You do. You get caught up in that shit. When I was in high school, you know, Nelly came out with the Air Force One song.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And automatically I wanted some Air Force Ones.
Yep.
And look, and the thing that sucks with these kids today is they got to deal with Travis Scott and Kanye shit that is just outrageously priced.
Outrageously priced.
You know what I'm saying? Back then we really could go get it. We wanted Vocal.
Yep.
Dr. Dre had Leak clothing. You know, Snoop. If you wanted any of that clothing, you realistically could go get it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, you really can't just go and get that type of shit.
Piece, bro. You gotta have Gucci and fucking like all that expensive shit.
Scale.
Yeah.
It's a way higher scale. Like I wouldn't be able to compete with this shit. Like I really wouldn't. You know, and I'll be looking at sometimes my little brother's friends and stuff. You know, and like you know they have like Louis belts and shit like that. You know, and I'm just like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? And I might have been part of that hype when I was younger, but till this day, I'm like, shit, that's like an ounce and a half of fire, dog.
No, for real though. Yeah. And that ties into the need for getting that money, right? The side one we were talking about. Why is it so easy to do the illegal stuff? It's because it gets the quicker cash.
Yeah.
And if you're in an environment where you have to fit in and you have to get like clothing, cars, whatever it is to fit in with the herd, you're gonna do whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
The fucking your fucking cognizant mind of like I don't want to go to jail just kind of goes out the window. You're like, I hope I don't go to jail now because I got to get this money.
Right.
I got to have these clothes.
You got to. You got to. I mean? And it's crazy too because those same ones that was wearing those white tees, baggy jeans, and J's. You know what I'm saying? Today they're wearing Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
You know, True Religions, shit like that, and still with the J's, you know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't be caught dead wearing the shit they used to wear, and they'll make fun of people if they see them wearing it till this day. But it's like, dude, you was from that same kettle. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You came from it, bro.
Bro, I remember when I was going through my skater phase, I was coming out of it. Right. I was still rocking skinny jeans, and this is when skinny jeans were not a fucking thing.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing. That was only skaters. It was only skaters.
I remember my homeboys because I wear like maybe a jersey and I have skinny jeans on because I didn't get a new pair of jeans yet.
Right.
And I had homeboys be like, man, look at your jeans, it's so tight, and I'm like, well, they're cool, I'm good. Now all those motherfuckers that said that are wearing skinny jeans or they had worn skinny jeans. Fits. Yeah, because it became
they tried to call them slim fits. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was like, oh shit, I'm feeling a little slim today. Let me see how these fit. I said I can't even get them past my fucking thigh. These are skinny jeans. They slim fit my ass.
Oh man.
Eminem wouldn't wear these.
Do you think it's because also too because it's like the availability, right?
Yeah.
And back then, like you had to go only to Hot Topic, right? And that's or whatever. Would have it. But now it's like the accessibility and stuff like that. Because I know, a girl asked me in middle school, like, would you ever wear like girl jeans? And I'm like, no, I wouldn't wear girl jeans. But
of course not.
I ended up wearing some girl jeans that fit better than the guys jeans. And I was like, oh, actually, never say never because you just, things could change. I don't know.
You never know. Things can change.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the way styles change. Now, what's crazy is so a couple books I'm reading and stuff, they talk about that, right? Like, like stages of men's lives and what they should wear, whatever. Like what's recommended if you want to be attractive.
What your age level?
Yep. So like young men can wear like what pretty much whatever they want.
Yeah.
They've got physiques and stuff. They're young, right?
Right.
And then you get into like your not even middle age, but like 20s through late 20s. You're gonna want to have like some name brand or whatever. If you're in the sexual marketplace, right? If you're searching for somebody, you're looking for dating.
Right. Yeah.
You can't just be dressed.
Because that Gucci will get you fucked.
Then when you get into your late 30s, like you should be dressing more mature, right? You should have like a nice pair of shoes if you go out, a belt that matches your shirt, shit like that, right? Right. And dress a little bit mature.
Like more or less something that we would have to wear to church,
right?
Type shit,
Yeah, because you want to. That's the type of.
That's that grown man.
Yeah, that's what women are attracted to at that age. If you find out you're that age and you're dressing like you were 20 years ago, they're like, what the fuck? Like, you're still dressing like this and you're 35 years old.
And that's gonna be me.
Yeah,
that's gonna be me.
But it's still cool though. But the point I was looking to make is that if you look at cultural fashion, right, and that's what the topic was in the book, because he was explaining that to tie into like cultural fashion. Yeah. Every 5 to 10 years, the cultural fashion is going to change. Yeah. So if you look at like 5 to 10 years ago, people were still kind of rocking like a little bit of baggier stuff and shit like that. It was starting to become more tight. Now it's just tight clothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to wear small clothing. Yeah. Slim dudes are attractive, where if you look at the early 2000s, it was big dudes. You know what I mean? Big dudes with big clothing. That was what women was attracted to.
Right. They had.
And now it's the skinny dudes.
Right.
With curly hair.
Yeah. Long hair too. Like it used to be fades. And short hairstyles. Yeah. Right. Now it's long hairstyles. You got to have braids. You got to have long hair like Edgar cuts and shit.
Cuts, even the in Texas.
Yeah. And so that shit just goes like the way that culture changes, and it's just whatever the opposite sex is attracted to becomes popular.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so that's just the way it is, and it's always has to play with sexual market value.
It does. It does.
What's the value in the sexual marketplace for the clothing, and that's what settles as the what needs to be worn.
Yeah, because some sketches ain't gonna get you.
Some sketches ain't gonna get you.
That's for sure.
And these women now, these young women, they want to see Gucci. They want to see you with the Louis belt. They want
like
to
that
see
shit.
you.
They want to see the Polo Bear.
They want to see you dressed like Polo G or Migos. You know what I mean? They want to see that.
So let's bring me up to a point too, though. Should you dress nicer than what your wallet even says? Because I'll go to H&M, right?
Yeah.
I like finding because it's nice fashion, but it's cheap, right?
Yeah. H&M is dope.
You have people who are dressing too nice,
right?
But you could tell their wallets don't match.
Yeah,
right.
So is that a problem?
It is.
It's a problem now that we're adults.
Right.
Yeah. When we were younger, we could do that.
Yeah.
But now that we're adults, you can't match that shit up.
Yep. Yeah. You gotta make sure your shit's paid, your bills are paid. You're in you know what I mean? You're in good order and stuff before you go fucking spend a bunch of money on clothes.
Yeah. But, and even the mentality of that person, because you see them checking out or whatever. It doesn't have to be H&M or something else.
Right.
But it's like their mentality probably is not matching their clothing either.
Right.
Like they're maybe not as sophisticated as their dress.
Yeah. Like I just seen on Instagram, I think it was on the Instagram Reels, but there was this dude and they made it a meme, but he was asking the guy at the gas pump to take pictures with his car. And the dude's dressed nice. Like he's got a nice coat on, he looks like the guy that would own that car.
Right.
And he takes pictures with the car and then he goes and gets in his own car and it's a little like Geo Metro looking car, a little like whatever those little Chevy ones are.
Yeah.
And he's spending way too much money on his clothing, not working on his lifestyle, and he's using the clothing to track the opposite sex. You know what I mean? But you can only do that, and they'll be in your life until they figure out you're a fraud.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that goes. But what you were saying, it goes back to what we were also saying earlier. Some people could make clothing that's less expensive look good based on their attraction.
Yeah.
Right. So like I can go to JCPenney's and get, you know, a decent looking top, you know, some pants, a belt, and a pair of shoes.
Let's get it.
And make it look like it's fucking, you know, good shit.
Right.
Because of how attractive a person is. Right.
Yeah.
And not even saying I'm a super attractive person, but there's people who can do that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go and get the Gucci and all that shit. Right.
Right.
Or if you're a person who can have conversation and talk, you don't need all that either.
Yeah.
Just get something that looks decent for you and then use your game to do the rest.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But people
it's a mouthpiece. It's a mouthpiece.
But people want to do the opposite. They want to get all the clothes. They want to get the car first before they go out and try to do something.
Yeah.
But then maybe their game ain't tight, and then the car and the clothes don't matter.
Right. It doesn't matter. Don't matter at all. Yeah.
So, but it's just crazy because sex is what drives it all.
It does.
Yeah.
That's wild, right?
Yep. Attracting people is what drives it all, and you gotta continue even if you're in a relationship. What I'm learning from this book I'm reading, I recommend all men read these books. And one's called The Rational Male, the other one's called No More Mr. Nice Guy, and it's a male psychologist teaching men how to be men, right? Okay. So even if you're in a relationship, a long-term relationship, you shouldn't just let yourself go, because women are constantly, and I talked about this in the earlier episode with Sade, women are constantly on the hunt for men. Even if they're not trying to pursue a sexual relationship, they're making friendships with other men. They're seeking attention from other men online or at the grocery store even. It's just what they do. It's their nature, right? Okay. So if you're in a long-term relationship, you shouldn't just give up and stop dressing, you know, stop changing yourself. You should always try to be the best that you can be, right? Always try to be the most sexually attractive you can be. One of these books, they have a fucking quote in there that I love. It says, "No woman likes a cheater, but women love a man that can cheat." It's so true, bro.
That's great.
That's weird. So that's weird because till this day it's like that. Cheaters always stay in that relationship, but it's that person that likes to be rational or likes to like kind of like, hey, let's work this out. Let's talk about this type. They'll always end second. You know what I mean? And it's crazy too because you get them people out there that really deserve that relationship type. You know what I mean? Really deserve a relationship, really deserve to have somebody, and then they don't have that person. But then again, you get Slow-Mo Joe over here that's beating on his girl or walking out on her, this and that, and he gets to go home and have his fucking 3 P's in the cops. You know what I mean? And that's fucked up. I hate that type of shit, you know? And I remember there was a point in time where I did want to try and be like an asshole, but that just wasn't me. It was fucking weird. Right. It was fucking weird.
And it's not even being like an asshole either, because I used to think that women like assholes. Right? Like that, and it's kind of true to an extent. Right. But it's just that women, they want, like I said, you know, that quote is dope, right?
Yeah,
but it plays into so many different elements of a relationship because they want you to look good enough to step out on them. They want you to be educated enough that another woman would find you attractive, but they just want you to be getting their attention, right? Only their attention. Right. They don't want you giving the attention. They want you receiving the attention from other women, but not giving the attention to other women, right? And so that goes with working on it. Like men, we all get comfortable. Even women get comfortable. But as a man, we can't afford to get comfortable, and that's the fucked up thing. A woman, I feel like, could afford to get comfortable. If a man loves a woman, she can get comfortable, and you know what I mean? All that goes along with being comfortable, and he's still gonna love her, right? But if a man gets comfortable and he stops pursuing himself or trying to make himself attractive, the woman will fall away. The woman's gonna not respect him anymore. She's gonna talk to him a certain type of way. She's gonna treat him a certain type of way, and then other men are gonna get her respect. And you know, even if she's not giving them sex, you're still getting kind of cheated on because your attention is being taken away from you. Right, and that's why. That's why women are constantly on like celebrity men pages and stuff like that. And you know what's crazy? And when we get more females on here, I want to talk to them about this because I have seen where women get way more hype, mostly on Twitter, but I'm sure on all social media, women get way more hype than I see men get at a like sexual image of an attractive man. Like when these rappers have their nudes leak and shit, like Lil Baby when he had, or was it Lil Baby or Dub Baby? Lil Baby, I think. When his fucking image leaked and his shit was out, a hell of women that I'm friends with loved that shit. Liking, commenting, oh, I want to see that. Oh, I want to see what that's about. Damn, he ain't no Lil Baby to me. You know what I mean? Like, women love seeing that shit. So they want an attractive man. They want that man that isn't going to cheat, but can cheat if he wanted to. If he really wanted to, they want that man.
That's true.
And it's crazy, too, because all these girls are fantasizing with his piece.
Right.
when this motherfucker got separated eyes like sticky fingers, sticky fingers, like little baby, he's cool. Don't get me wrong, I ain't hating, but ladies, think about this. Think about this shit.
Your babies are gonna have a large
little baby
that weird
has his left eye looking at 11 o'clock and his right eye looking at 4. And you worried about his peace.
Yep.
You feel me? You worried about his peace, and that's what's fucking crazy to me. That's what's fucking crazy to me.
Oh shit!
But I don't know.
Is it always gonna be you want what you can't have though? Like
I think it'll always be that way.
Highest tier to what they can get, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's the cap.
Mm-hmm.
But should people not only want the highest of whatever they could get? Because that's through society's perception.
Right.
That's the highest you could get. You should focus on what you really like and the qualities you like, and go after that.
Right.
Yeah, because they're
completely different.
Because there's men who will get with the hottest chick they can get, right? But
because
they
she's
don't like
hot.
them. Yeah, and they don't like them, and they don't love them, but they're only with them because they look good, right? And then that woman, that's really attractive woman, is sticking with this guy because he's out cheating, he's out doing what he wants to do, and she wants that attention from him, so she's gonna do whatever she has to do to get that attention. But he can't, because he doesn't love her. He doesn't have that chemical reaction with her.
Yeah.
He just has her as his woman because of how she looks. So that's where you got to look at yourself as a man and be like, I'm trying to find somebody that I actually vibe with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that's a big deal.
Yeah. It don't matter what they look like, right? Like, of course,
the whole vibe is
of course
so important.
Physical attraction plays a part in it, but you got to find somebody that you know is going to tailor to what you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not even just like fulfill you, because I don't believe in like a person fulfilling another person. It's just about what complements you.
Yeah.
What's going to complement you and help you grow.
Yeah.
Because in anything, in nature, in anything, it's either growing. If it's not growing, it's dying. So are you growing yourself? Are you growing your partner? Are you guys growing together? Or is the relationship dying? You know what I mean? If it's dying, you got to figure out, what do we got to do?
Yeah.
Do we got to, what do we got to do? We got to water it. We got to feed it. What do we got to do to make it grow?
True.
You know? And that's why that's like my New Year's resolution this year is what they call red pilling, right? So red pilling is just like they call it the manosphere, right? Men's thought and men's lives and stuff like that is about being more aware of what men should be thinking about themselves instead of what people should be thinking about men.
Yeah.
That's what's red pilling, right? In a nutshell. I mean, there's experts out there that are watching like, oh, actually, there's more to it than that. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much what it is. And that's why I'm reading these books and like learning more about...
Getting more in tune with it.
Learning more about like what I should be doing as a man. Going into my, now my mid-30s pretty soon. I'm going to be 33 this week.
Right.
I got to figure out like what man I'm going to be for the rest of my life, because I know who I was. I knew who I was in my 20s, and I can't be that man anymore. You know what I mean? I got kids and all this stuff, so I got to transition into being this new man.
Yeah.
So that's my New Year's resolution.
Any other resolutions and stuff like that?
I haven't even really actually thought about it. I mean, before I even put a label on it, but I was just thinking just got to become a better person all the way around. You know what I mean? Just being a better person, a better dad, a better son, a better counterpart, whatever it is, just got to be a better person, and just take baby steps at it, and I know I can do it. I mean, I fucking battled meth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know I could do it. It's just, just getting that strength now to get up and do it. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's really all for me. Just being a better person.
And for either the Packers to win the Super Bowl or the Jazz to get a championship. But that's not my resolution to make. That's just a wish.
It's just a wish.
Yeah, because, like, I don't know. Part of me feels, because, like, used to work out a lot back then. I like it. I want to. But now I'm thinking if I get back into it, which I want to, I'm probably going to do it more for just looks. And
feel good too. Yeah. I go to the gym. I'm gonna go a lot more now. That's part of my like growth and stuff like that. Because a man should at least just take care of his body. You don't have to be the jackedest dude in the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or anything like that. But it just at least take care of it so that you do bring that attraction in places that you go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And every like what I've learned about like going to the gym and talking to people who aren't necessarily like super bodybuilders, but they just work on what they know they naturally have. Like if a guy got big arms naturally, he's gonna work on his arms because that's his natural thing, right? Yeah. If a guy got big wide back, he's gonna work on his back. Just whatever is gonna bring in the attraction. So you don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, you don't have to be Michael B. Jordan or anything like that, but at least go a few times in the week just to improve on what you already have, that foundation. Yeah. You know, it's gonna make you feel better about yourself. Yeah. And that's what it is. Men need to feel better about themselves. Men need to think better about themselves, because in today's society, men get attacked a lot. I feel like it's always the blame on men. Right, like,
and we have to chuck it up too.
Yeah, we have to chuck it up and just be men about it. But if men took care of men, right? If men took care of themselves, not other men taking care of men, but if men took care of themselves, and in a way, men taking care of men, because you know we got to rely on people who know a little bit more than us, and can instruct us and stuff like that. But if men took care of themselves, then everything would be at peace for them in their life, right? The woman would be okay. Kids would be okay.
Everything well aligned.
Yeah, because you really think about it, right?
That's good to know.
If a man who's a father, if his life isn't in order and isn't together, it's going to affect his children's life. Yeah. Right? And then, of course, it's going to affect whoever partner he's with. Right. Because he's not a complete man. Right. And you got to be a complete person. Like a woman, I feel, to an extent, can not be complete, right? She can enter a motherhood or a relationship.
They can check out for a little bit.
And not be complete. Yeah. Because they don't have to, I'm not saying they can't, because they can, but they don't have to do everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? A man has to work. A man has to provide. A man has to be that protector. Yeah. Right? And then he also has to be the rearing father. He has to be the rearing parent. A woman couldn't do that. Right. You know, there's single women out there who can do that. We came up with single moms. We know that, right? But they shouldn't have to, is the thing. Men are going to be the ones who have to. Yeah. They have to fulfill roles.
And it's crazy too, because it goes back to what Chris Rock said about the unconditional love that children and women will always have. Yep. You know, a man can't do that type of stuff that a woman can do and still be loved. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're always gonna love that woman and that child no matter what. Yeah. But if you do something negative or do something of that nature, then they're just gonna look at you like this motherfucker. Right. You know?
Yeah. Men always have to be providing or doing something. They're loved conditionally. They have to have conditions to be loved. By anybody.
By anybody. Yeah. Not just your counterpart, by anyone. Yeah.
That's true. I don't know.
What else we got on the docket?
Yeah. Favorite New Year's celebration. So I'll just share what we did for New Year's. I was here with Rome, his family, our families, our sister, brother-in-law, my kids and everybody else, nieces and nephews. It was pretty cool. It was chill. I like that. You know, I'm not trying to go out and get really like fucking outrageous.
I don't even have the energy for that shit no more. Honestly, I don't
do it anymore.
I feel like I never really have, but
you gotta go do it. I'm just because I've had some fun New Year's experiences in the past, like especially in my early 20s or even when we were in our teens. I remember we'd go out and like make a thing in New Year's and fucking do some shit we probably shouldn't be doing. You know? And going to like big grown people's parties and crashing the shit. One of my favorite New Year's memories was I went to Vegas. I was living in Vegas actually at this time, and my girlfriend at the time, the kid's mom actually, she came down to Vegas to spend New Year's with me, and we were in on the Strip, Las Vegas, for the New Year's countdown. It was one of the most memorable experiences in my life. It was so fun. And there was so many people though, because it was pre-COVID too. So there was, everybody was just like on the Strip, like back to back, crammed. Fucking people were selling pizzas, walking down the Strip. They're like, pizzas and shit like that. Hustling, yep. And it was just a memorable experience because like a bunch of stuff was going on too. Yeah. And this was like 2009. So like Twitter was starting to be around. And I remember I was checking my Twitter and I like heard like, oh, Britney Spears is like splashing around in the fountain at the Caesar's Palace or something, and DJ so-and-so's over here, like maybe we can make our way down there and catch a set. It was just live, bro. It was just so fun.
That sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
What about you guys?
Okay. With me, and that's weird. And I never could really say that I have like an extreme memory, but I just remember, I don't know what Ogden City used to do back in the day. What was it called? One night or something like that. And like for kids, they made it feel like cool. You know what I mean? Like a New Year's bash and shit like that. Of course, you can't forget classic skating.
Right. Oh yeah.
When they had the all night party.
Yep.
And that worked for me because my mom, she was out anyways.
Right.
And it would always be her and your guys' mom.
Yeah.
They would come and pop in, peek their head in, you know what I mean, make sure we was there and shit. And we thought we were the shit.
Yep.
Staying up past 12 skating and shit like that, you know.
You remember those parties at Classic? Yeah.
The all-nighters? Yeah. So that, I mean, that's really about it on the New Year's.
Was it New Year's when we hung out that one time?
Yeah.
I'm a man of laughter.
Yeah.
If I'm laughing, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
I non-stop laughter when I hung out with you and we got drunk and we made other people get drunk and explain that story.
So we made this other person get drunk while we weren't getting drunk, but we were, you know. So we had the red UV vodka, and we're drinking. And when there's this dude, you know, he's like a white boy gangbanger and shit like that. He's good peeps, and we tell him we're gonna start just taking shots out of the bottle. You know, we're all in a little sitting set up, and me and Rome's just letting it hit our lips, and he's really actually taking the shit. It led to him fucking throwing up on his homegirl's Broncos beanie.
Oh, shit.
You know, and she had like a New York accent when she found it. She goes, "Was it you, Joey? Was it you? Did you throw up on my hoodie, Joey?" You know, and me and Rome were fucking, and she was in his face. Was it you, Joey? You know, that shit was fucking funny. The next thing you know, this poor kid is outside fucking shadowboxing. Shadowboxing in the driveway. Mr. E would have been proud. You know what I mean? And literally hitting the garbage can and shit, and we're like, what the fuck? You know, and that was all on accounts of me and Roman just being fucking assholes.
Got that guy drunk.
Like where Canyon Cove or whatever, like the golf course.
The golf course.
Monty.
Hill.
I think they went to go get shrooms. I really think they went to go get shrooms, and then they come back. We lost Joey. What do you mean you lost Joey?
He's just at the dinosaur. He ran to the dinosaur park.
He was rolling down the hill in the snow. The cops didn't even want to go get him.
Oh shit! Like that man.
It was at somebody else's expense, but it was funny. He didn't get hurt.
Right.
He didn't. But do you remember when he walked in like an hour and a half later, and we were calling him McLovin?
Oh yeah.
We were calling him McLovin, and he walked in. We were all up on upstairs with Pat, with Jacobo's mom.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he walks in, and we're like, McLovin, looking colder than fuck.
Rolling down El Monte Golf Course.
There's some shrooms.
That's a steep ass hill.
Yeah.
That's fucking steep.
That's the hill I would go sledding on.
Yeah, because the cops were like,
hill.
handle that.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, last time I ran into him,
That's a funny memory.
Yeah, that one was a trip. Didn't somebody fall from a chair too during the New Year's? Like they were standing up on the chair, like holding the ceiling, and then when New Year's came, I think somebody kicked the fucking chair. I think somebody, it might have been Jacobo. Because you know Jacobo was mischievous at parties. You know what I mean? So I remember that shit. I think somebody kicked the leg off from under it, and then fucking beautiful New Year's.
That was crazy.
That's pretty cool.
I forgot all about those classic all-nighters though, but that shit was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That was like, if you didn't have plans and you weren't there, like everybody talked about that at school for the
They was going to be there.
couple months.
Yeah,
you had to be there.
That was fun. People were there in blankets and pajamas and shit.
Making out in the corner.
Making out in the corner.
Girls taste like her tongue tastes like milk or something.
It was good.
Like milk.
Like you said, it was good though. It was at 2%.
It was at 2%. Wasn't too curdy.
He said it's a bit nutty.
Man. So we're all dads now, right? Mm-hmm. And they don't really have like the classic skating shit. Like that's not popular or anything like that. But are we gonna be conscious of our daughters going to shit like that? I mean, I'm gonna be conscious of it, and I don't know if I'll explain it to her. Like, hey, you know, you got to make sure you watch what you're doing and who you're with and stuff like that. But fuck, like, do you think about that shit? Like how you're gonna coach your daughter in situations like that?
Did you have a daughter?
Yeah.
So in all honesty, it's you could give them just like a meth addict or somebody who's dealing with addiction. I could give them the best game in the world that they could have to stay straight and narrow. But if they're gonna listen to it, that's just it. And that's where I'm kind of at too. It's like the whole listening part is just not there. Mm-hmm. Well, you know,
that's true. But like, aren't there things to say? Be selective to like what they actually could use and try and test out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like we can break down things, you know, the whole thing, but then also it's like there's steps, there's different things, rules and stuff like that they might not follow unless they have to go through and live through it. But if you give them something to test out and, you know, see if it works or not or what they think, and then they give you feedback and then you can work from there instead of just giving it all out.
It could work because, but what if they get a result that they experience and they don't want to share with you, right?
Right.
Like a bad experience. Like let's say you give them the advice and go test it out and they have a bad experience. They don't want to tell you about it because you gave them the advice. They don't want to be like, your advice didn't work or your advice did this to me. You know what I mean?
I think that's why you have to have that open communication too, to be like, well, I'm not always going to be right, but this is the best of my ability. Just like how she might be young and she could give advice to whatever is going on too.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Right. Yeah. They are observant and they're more observant. I think kids are way more observant of what's going on.
A lot.
I think a lot of it goes into just the kids' self-esteem too. Yeah. So a portion of the books that I'm reading, it goes on parenting, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just in like the first chapter of the parenting section of one of these books, but he was explaining that kids from their fathers, they just need to be reassured.
That's true.
And build their self-esteem, right? Yeah. Because, and it's going to change a little bit, right? But mostly in life, your bosses, people of authority, are males, right? So the first authoritative male they have in their life is their father. So if they have that reassurance from the first authority in their life and that self-esteem built, not like overly analytic of them, but reassuring and open to who they are as a person. If the father's the first person in their life to do that, they'll have more success through their life with other authoritative men. Yeah. Right? And like I said, I know a lot of people will watch this, especially like Gen Zers and stuff like that, and think, oh, you know, men aren't the only ones in power. Of course not. Yeah. Especially as we progress as a society, there's going to be more women in power, right? But for the majority of the time that they're growing up, if we're looking at now through 10 years from now, it's still going to be men in the authoritative structure, right? Yeah. And then later on, it might change or whatever, and maybe our kids, our daughters will be the first one to write a book about that, you know? Yeah. But they just have to have that reassurance from their male figures in their lives. They have to have that reassurance. And like you said on an episode prior, like the father is the only man in that woman's life, the daughter's life, that's not going to want anything from them, right? Because even their brothers are going to, you know, at least want something from them, you know, in respect to like, hey, you're my sister, you got to help me with this, or you're my sister, you're obligated to help me with that, right? Yeah. But a father is not going to need anything from her. So we have to make sure that we reassure her and make her feel confident with being, you know, around men and knowing how men are and stuff like that, right? Because I think it's when you try to shadow that stuff and like, you know, the dad tries to like, oh, I'm not like that, you know, I don't do that stuff. Yeah. And he has this, you know, and the guy that had his porn tucked away under his desk, you know what I mean? Yeah. And never let his child know or let his children know that, you know, that's a part of life. Yeah. Then she discovers it on her own, and she's hypersexual because she's never been told about it before. Maybe. Yeah. You know what I mean? From seeing dad and his mistakes, I don't know, I liked seeing his mistakes. Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah. Because it, you know, I learned from his mistakes. Right. But yeah, if he was to shelter and be like, I don't know what the hell, why he's acting so weird, you know, strange or paranoid and stuff, and not knowing, then that could have messed me up. Yep, of course. Actually, knowing the reason why, I think that's and you've had a pretty good self-esteem too. You had a pretty good self-esteem. Yeah, I've always did you guys? Or? I felt like I did. I felt like, but in the situation that I think all us three grew up, we had to grow up fast. Yeah. Like we had to. We had young parents, and our parents were involved in stuff, you know, they were doing. Yeah. So we had to grow up fast. We had to know what was going on at a young age, right? And there's some kids who, like you were saying, like you like to see his mistakes because you learn from them. There's some kids who don't have like a good self-esteem, so they see their parents as their means of self-esteem, and they see them struggling or doing bad things. They're like, it's my fault. Yeah, I'm not good enough kid. Yeah. So he's doing this because I'm not good enough. Right. And then they go through their whole life thinking I'm not good enough. Yeah, that'd be awful. And then they just do the same things their parents did. Yeah, that'd be awful. So you got to give that reassurance and that good self-esteem. And, and then they need to know too that's not how the world works. Like, it's not always. You know, you're not the center of the universe. So it's not your fault. And that's why you got to reassure them. You got to reassure them that that's not the case. Yeah. So crazy shit. Speaking of self-esteem and stuff like that, like I don't know. You had a lot of girls back in the day. Could we say a little or no? Till this day.
Till this day.
I don't know, but let's say sharing girls or whatever. Was that a big thing? We don't need to go into detail or anything like that, but like, do you think it's, because I know you touched on it before, like, oh, you know, it's a small place, you know, people share people and stuff like that. Would you rather it be on the low, or would you rather it be open and stuff like that? And I there's no one answer, but I don't know, because it's like,
that's a deep question.
And even it could even be like not serious stuff like in high school.
Yeah.
Like I know there's like girls that I had an attraction for, and you know they ended up with you, which was cool.
Right.
But it showed me like, oh, maybe I shouldn't mess with that girl.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's just you know, you don't know at a young age, because like you feel like if you have attraction for somebody, they must have that same attraction for you, right?
Right.
But it's not the case. That's why it's important to explain young men that, right?
Yeah.
To explain that to young men that, hey, look, just because you have feelings for this person doesn't mean they have the same feelings.
Or they do, but they could have heightened for another person.
They have a heightened for another person. And women are always, this is just something that has to be said for young men. I hope young men watch this. But women are constantly on the search for a man's attention, right?
Yeah.
So if she already got your attention,
attention's real big for women.
She's not going to work on you anymore.
Yeah.
You have her attention, or you know what I mean? She has your attention. She wants other guys' attention. She wants the guys that she thinks are more alpha than you attention. So she's going to do things to get their attention, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about what you're doing to present yourself as being a more attractive male. You know what I mean? And some just have naturally. Some just naturally.
I think it had a lot to do with maybe the way I dressed.
Right.
I don't know. It could have been, you know, but to be honest with you, it's fuck. I don't know. It wasn't all it was cracked up to be. You know what I mean? And especially like in the vibe of like, obviously, I mean, I wasn't having intercourse with all these girls that I was dating or whatever like that, you know. So it ain't like I was feeling good about myself, you know, like, because we grew up with kids that was getting some at a time where I was like, I hadn't even seen what a real one looks like. That's true. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But meanwhile, I got a homie that's just killing through shit. You know, I'm just holding.
Having a kid. Yeah.
I'm just holding these girls' hands, goddammit. You know what I mean? What the hell kind of shit is this? But like the whole sharing thing, I think if I can remember right, there was a situation where there was somebody that I was in school, and they had dated somebody that we had hung out with, and I reached out to them and made sure if everything was cool, and I even let them know if it's not, that's fine too. That's why I'm asking you right now before this goes any further,
right?
You know, and so I went about it that way, you know. But like the whole sharing shit, like that's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't like swingers. Threesomes, shit like that. Like even, and be honest with you, even if there's another girl involved in the threesome, right? You know, if she's going down on my girl and I ain't never heard my girl scream like that, I'm gonna feel some type of way and pull that bitch's wig off. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm real big on that, and maybe you know what I'm saying. Like I don't know, it's just the way the mind works, how the mind's focused around sexuality a lot. That could be it, you know. But like, when a breakup happens, for some reason, that's the first fucking thing that comes to my mind. Yeah, somebody else is gonna be with her in that way, type shit, you know. And I hate that my mind thinks like that. It's fucking stupid, you know. It's dumb.
You have to. I mean, but at least you're aware of it, though. So
right.
To try to navigate on, because you know you're gonna think of that.
Right. Yeah.
But it just happens unintentionally too. Like, so what, like real sex, right? Real sexual energy is supposed to be, it's raw, it's uncontrolled, right? Yeah. It's an experience. So it's not like, in the most cases, the people that have shared a lover or whatever, like even, you know, not like in a threesome or something, but like have had, you know, Eskimo brothers, people call it, right?
The Eskimo brothers, yeah.
But it's because it's not like, okay, we're going to agree to meet up at this time and we're going to have sex, right? They were in an instance where there was attraction. The attraction flared up. It led to intercourse. They had sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they had that physical attraction for one another, and you've had that same physical attraction with that same person.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Right.
This has happened through the whole beginning of mankind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is just how men and women work. You're sexually attracted to somebody, they're sexually attracted to you, you have sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The sooner you can get that through your mind and know that's going to happen, the less of a pain it's going to be for you. You know what I mean? Because they're not doing it to you. They're not doing it because they want to hurt you. Sometimes they do, but they're not doing it to you. They're doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
Because they had that attraction.
Right.
And for the most part, women have to have that chemical reaction attraction.
Of course.
To fuck somebody, right?
Right.
A man can fuck whoever he wants.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been there. I mean, like, in my young 20s and shit like that, I would go out and I'd meet somebody and, you know, maybe I didn't even want to have sex that night, but she wanted to have sex and I wasn't attracted to her, but she was attracted to me. Did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not what makes you a man either. Like, young men, they shouldn't
That's
have
definitely
to think,
not what makes you a
They
man.
shouldn't have to think like, oh, I gotta have a high body count.
The woman
to be
count,
an alpha.
that does not.
Does not.
It doesn't.
It's about who you're attracting.
Yeah.
Who wants to.
Right.
And just because they want to doesn't mean you should.
You should, exactly.
But how many of them want to? That's
Right.
what makes you a male, right? That's what makes you an alpha male. That's
Yeah.
what makes you a man. Is how many women can you attract to you, and you have the responsibility of saying, well, I'm not going to do that with her. I'm not going to do that with people I want to do that with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the thing.
And the women kind of got that shit in the lock.
Oh, yeah.
Like a man really can't control that too well, but a woman, this shit, the women can wrap that shit up for months.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They can, and it's wild. And to touch on what Sade said in the last episode, what's up, Sade? I'm sorry I couldn't be with y'all last week, but anyways, to go what she said, you know how she said a man has so many bodies, they're a pimp, they're looked at on a pedestal, and if a woman does it, they're looked at in a different way, and I'll agree with her. It's not fair that it's that way, but the women is known in time. And the way shit has always been, the women has always been the one that's supposed to have more class than the man. You know what I'm saying? And I know times are changing. Right. I'm not saying that all women need to cook and clean, stay home. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But what brought that whole you're a pimp for having that many bodies and you're fucking nasty because you done did this many dudes is because women have always been held up to a certain standard, a higher standard than men. You know what I'm saying? You know, like women have to be more classier than men do. It's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's more sexually attractive to a man when a woman is more reserved, right? It's more sexually attractive when a woman can control herself. Yeah. Right? Because it's okay, I guess, like, to an extent, it's okay that women go out and if they want to sleep around or whatever, right? Women do it and they don't say anything about it.
You can do it. But it's about respect. Yeah. You could smash somebody and still not have less respect for them than somebody who has less, you know.
Yeah. Because there's women out there who just give themselves freely and stuff like that, and they have a poor self-image, whatever it may be, and then men look at them as less attractive. Like, damn, you know, and it's not necessarily the bodies.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
It's not necessarily the amount of bodies, but just the freeness they're giving it out.
It's the disrespect. In the bodies.
It's like, okay, everybody could just have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But a woman is attractive when a woman has control over it. When she's like, well, I'm going to only give it to this person or only to this person. You know what I mean?
Because if she's keeping it under wraps, that's fine. But if she's fucking your homies, you know what I mean, fucking this pretty, and you're hearing about that shit, then that's the disrespectful bodies that you're having sex with. You know what I'm saying? Because we are humans. Yeah. People are going to have intercourse. It happens. You know what I mean? That's just what happens. And I don't know. It is fucked up that the women get the sour end of the stick. But to me, that's just the women were held up to a higher standard, I think.
Yeah, in society for a long time, I think.
And not to mention, not only that, I mean, as a woman, you got to be careful with that because you get too many objects in that motherfucker, this shit start to change. You know what I'm saying? And that's no fair to you guys because the only time it changes is when you hit about 70, 80 years old and that bitch don't get stiff no more. You know, but with the women, y'all also got to be careful with them motherfucking toys and shit. And I'm not telling you how to ruin your life and shit like that, but that bitch come out looking like an RB special, you gonna know why. You gonna know why. You little rocket buddy ain't doing good for you now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm serious though. That's fucked up for them. They can have all these partners, and in time, whoever you're with at that time, as other partners went by, you're gonna fill them bodies. But a male,
women throughout her lifetime,
it does. It sticks with them.
It's the DNA, sticks with them.
Right. It does. And you know, I know you've seen the meme where if you are having unprotected sex and you do release in a woman, like you literally are leaving yourself in her.
Yeah, they literally absorb your DNA.
Like literally.
Yeah, and it's in them. It's
like their DNA, your DNA is in there. So. Yeah, the women have to go through a whole lot more shit. To me, that's unfair. And maybe I think that way because I was raised by women. You know what I'm saying? And my parents never made me want to be like against men. Right. My grandma hated men. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that's the way I think or anything like that, but it just sucks for the women, I think, more or less.
There's input, outputs, right? Like you think of women as a sacred temple home.
Mm-hmm. To home.
You know, like you're allowing people in your home.
Yeah.
Right? And then a guy is an explorer.
Then you're welcomed in,
He could go through, you know, discover different multiple places and stuff like that. You'll never know. But
you never know.
Yeah. So
but you could tell when somebody's had a lot of visitors in their home.
The place has been lived in, so to speak.
Yeah. And that sucks for them.
Yeah.
That does. It sucks for them, which goes back to the case is why you have to hold yourself to a certain standard if you are a woman. Yep. Because if you do have a home that's wallless,
right?
Fuck.
Yeah.
What if you found Prince Charming?
Okay, so there's a girl though, like I think her name's Kazumi or something like that. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but she's talking about having multiple like gangbangs and stuff like that. Guy gangbangs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she's wild, right?
Right.
She's attractive.
Yeah.
She's this and that, but I don't know. I can't say I disrespect her. I don't know.
Right.
Like that, so
I mean, she's still sought after. So there's a thing with women; they're sought after either physically because they're very attractive, right? And that's only a certain percentage of women. That's the thing. Like I'm learning about that now that I'm researching stuff.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, 80% of women that go out are attractive. Only 4% of men that go out are attractive. That's what the statistics show. 4% of men. So if you go out in a group of 100 men, only 4, whatever. However that shakes out, but 4% of those men are going to be attracted to the females, all the females in there. There's still going to be like 1 or 2 females that are attracted to some of them, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But 80% of women are attractive to men.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because it's not hard to turn men on, right?
Right.
So with that being said, that plays to what you're saying. Like it doesn't matter if she's been in 50 men gangbangs or whatever. She's physically attractive, right?
Yeah.
And if a woman who wasn't physically attractive was saying that, you'd look at them like, what the fuck?
Sick.
Like I'm not gonna follow your page anymore. You know what I mean? Like
gross.
Damn. But because she's physically attractive and she likes that attention from men, it makes her more attractive to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
That's true.
That's the difference. Like women, if women are attractive, they don't have to do much but be attractive.
That's it.
A man, even an attractive man, has to continue to be attractive. You know, like you look at all these celebrities and shit like that. Like when they're at their peak attractiveness, women flock to them, love them, right?
Yeah.
Then you see a man go off and he becomes he doesn't become that man anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, he's ugly. I'm not gonna be with him anymore.
Shit. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Think about this. Okay?
That's winners and losers.
Yeah. Think about this. Think about like Cher. Okay. Cher's been attractive for years. Okay. I mean, shit. I haven't seen Cher lately, but I'm sure she doesn't look too far off what she looked 20 years ago. I'd probably fuck Cher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a woman who loved Bobby Brown back when he was Bobby Brown isn't gonna fuck Bobby Brown now.
No, they definitely ain't. They definitely ain't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I bet you Betty White was still getting knocked off till this day.
Women age gracefully. Men just age.
Because I'm not attracted to old women.
Right.
But Betty White, I mean, she had that nice smile and stuff. I'm pretty sure she found her a young Thundercat to go up in there and handle that before her 100th birthday. You know what I'm saying, man? It's true. It's just the attraction. It's easier for a woman to get knocked off than it is for a man.
An attractive woman.
So do you think,
has a lot of freedom.
Do you think? Because we'll probably have to have a woman in here to ask. But do you think women? How do they feel about age? How do they want a young guy?
I like this because there's portions of these men's books that talk about this. Okay, so 3 separate ones, and one that I'm really reading a lot. The Rational Male talks more in depth about it, but women go through phases, right, of attraction. Their sexual market value changes. Okay, so young women, we'll say of legal age 18, 19 through 25. That's when they're most attractive. Men find those women in that age group most attractive. All men of all ages, right? Then they get to between 26 and 29, 30-ish, and it's called the epiphany. They're starting to realize, oh shit, I can't keep up with most of these young women anymore. I have to find somebody to settle down with. Yeah. Right? That's when they come to the epiphany. They may not just do it right away. They're not desperate, right? Yeah. But they do come to that realization that, oh my God, all the stuff I was doing, stuff I was doing and when I was super attractive isn't working anymore. Yeah. There's more attractive women than me now. Yeah. Because there's more 19 to 25-year-olds than them, right? True. Then they get into the late 30s, between 31 and 35 or 6, and that's the holy shit, what am I doing with my life? I need a partner, right? It's the wall, he calls it. They come up to the wall where their attractiveness stops if they're not super rich or they're not doing something to keep themselves attractive, their body is changing, their attractiveness stops, and they can no longer pursue men like they used to, right? So with men, it's almost the opposite because men are attractive through, you know, when they have fit bodies and stuff, but a man can keep himself attractive all the way through until he's, you know, whatever age, he can't move anymore. But a man, if he takes care of himself, can be attractive from 18 all the way to 55, 60. Because, you know, it just depends on how he treats himself. Women don't have that luxury unless they're super rich or unless they're genetically gifted.
They can do that.
You know, like, i.e. like Cher or Mariah Carey. Like those girls, they have the resources to keep themselves attractive. Not every woman has that. And they're going to hit that wall, most of the women. And then they're going to be like, fuck, what am I doing? And then they start to resent men by the time they get to, this is what he says, right? They resent men by the time they get to 39, 40, and if they haven't found a solid partner or somebody that they think is their, you know, one and solid partner, they start to resent men. And they're like, oh, well, fuck men, because I'm not, you know, oh, men are pigs. They just want the young girls. Oh, men are this and that. It's like, no, you had your chance. You just decided to put other things first, whether it was career or going out and fucking around, or you thought you were good by yourself, and then you realized nobody can live on their own, you know what I mean? So that's just how that plays out.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that.
Definitely.
All right, last closing thing.
So, NFL season's wrapping up.
Yep.
I'm fucking excited.
Okay.
Packers are #1 seed in the NFC right now. And just good luck to the Cowboys. Good luck to
the Packers too. I mean, you guys don't got to worry about Kirk Cousins going in there. So that's a win. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's a win. I'm just like how I always am with my teams. We'll see when the playoffs get here. You know what I mean? I know my team. We got a test today. We'll see what we do. You know,
the Utes did good. They lost though. So the Utes by only a field goal. Lost by 3 points. And we were just talking about that before the camera started going. But man, a shout out to the Utes, bro, because they were not suspected to be in the Rose Bowl this year. This was one of the Utes teams that, from what I remember listening to the preseason radio and stuff, they were like, you know, this Utes team will be lucky to have a winning record. But they went through all the fucking adversity of the season.
Lost BYU.
They lost BYU. They lost players. From, you know, that one died tragically. Shout out to him, man. That's sad. They had another player die tragically too. And they ended up making it one of the best youth seasons ever. That's good. Winning the Pac-12 championship, going to the Rose Bowl, fucking putting it on Ohio of all schools. Putting it on Ohio for the first, you know, two quarters, and then they lost.
I think they covered the point spread.
They covered the point spread.
So I mean, in the bettor's world, that's a dub.
That's a dub.
You know, but I mean, for them to go in there and play like that against Ohio, I didn't think that they was going to do that against Ohio. Because like I told you, Ohio is way better than 3 points from Utah. You know what I mean? But Utah went in there and just played like dogs. Like straight dogs, you know, and it's that, I know that they don't play on Sundays, but it's that any given Sunday shit. You know, that was literally a Chihuahua versus Goliath. Not even David. It really was. We're talking about Ohio State. I mean, cream of the crop type college shit. 6th ranked, you know, 2 spots out of the playoff.
Utah stuck it to them.
3 motherfucking points. Took it to them to the last second. That was beautiful. Bigger. I think they're a way bigger team than the Urban Meyer team.
I think so too.
They need that love.
This team deserves more respect than the Fiesta Bowl team, because the Fiesta Bowl team was important, right? They beat Alabama, and you know all that goes along with it. Urban Meyer took off. Alex Smith was a part of that team, right? But this team, they weren't expected to be where they're at. That team was, if I remember correctly, that team was at least expected to do something.
That was the year that Utah became big. That was the year that all the Bloods became Utah fans. I ain't playing. That was like when Mac-10 went to Young Money. They all became Bloods. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. I don't give a fuck when you wasn't a Blood before Mac-10 went there. I know.
Same thing with the Norteños too. Like they love Utah shit.
They love the Utah shit. The Ute shit.
But yeah, shout out to them. They did a hell of a job.
Kudos.
There's a lot more room for us to grow.
Huh? More national attention. You know, the jerseys are sick. The Utes have some nice jerseys and helmets and shit. They had the U with the rose in it. With the helmet. So
I think Austin even had the shirt with the roses on it, and that shit was cool.
See that are going to be committing to colleges and stuff, and they're going to see and be like, man, those are some dope uniforms. I'm gonna go check.
Unis mean a lot. Unis mean a lot.
Yep. So shout out to them. That was
congrats.
Great. All right, there we go.
Wrap it up. Good